Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. If you like this podcast, do me a favor real quick and go to whatever podcast app you listen to this on and give us a rating. It really helps get found in the searches and getting in suggested feeds. I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this episode, Hefe's Airsoft Solutions, Skirmish, and TNT Airsoft. Make sure you guys go check out their content, products, and services. I'll have the links to all of those in the description. Thanks for being here. Let's get into the podcast. So how long after you graduated high school did you start playing airsoft? Like, how long was it?
I'd say probably like 2 months.
Oh,
I
wow.
started playing,
Okay.
about no, actually, I was playing a little bit into high school.
Okay.
I think it was like
Okay.
months before I graduated, I started. I wish I
Nice.
started when I was younger,
Yeah.
but my brother. So it all starts from my brother, man. It was back when instead you didn't go to a field to play. You just went with the neighbor kid.
Yep.
For eye protection too. So
Yeah, exactly. I say nobody wore glasses or nothing. Like, just
yeah,
start blasting each other.
yeah. I think what happened was my brother got shot like probably right here in the
Uh-huh.
eye, and then my mom was like, "Nope, you ain't doing that. No one
Yeah.
else." But also, I grew up in a very like my dad's a police officer for Nashville,
Oh, okay.
and my mom also works for the police department. So I grew up in a very guns aren't toys. You don't touch them. You don't look at them. You don't look at them. You don't mess with them or anything. So very, very hard to, try to convince.
So
Nerf
they
guns
didn't.
are fine though. Don't know
That's
why,
wild.
but
That kind of unusual. I think that if your dad's on the police force, they didn't teach you gun safety as a teenager.
yeah,
You know.
that was more my
Yeah.
papa. My papa was
Oh,
a
okay.
detective as well. He was a detective for
Oh shit.
Nashville as well. I come from police
Really?
family, so uh,
Bro, he's a detective?
yeah, my dad is too.
You
All
you
detectives,
ain't getting
man.
away with shit when
Oh, I
when
know,
you're a
I know.
teenager.
Yeah,
They
I
know
didn't.
everything, bro.
I didn't, man. Nothing at all.
I used to sneak out of the house when I was a, young teenager and go drink with my buddies,
That
okay?
was never even an option.
You couldn't do that. Uh-uh.
Never, never. There was never an option for me to even
No,
attempt to do
they
that,
would
man.
know, your dad would know, he'd notice like one little, your door is cracked like this much, or your, whatever is out of
Yeah.
place. Like, bro, he's gonna be like, wait a minute, what? Oh, I know. Like already 2
Yeah.
seconds. He's already like speculated. Okay, he's a teenager. What are you doing? Okay.
I wish, I had that experience of, trying to set your bed up or like all your pillows and it looks like a body or something, you know what I
Ferris
mean?
Bueller, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, never got that, man. I never had never had the even the option to try
No.
to sneak out, man.
Uh.
So
Oh, that's wild. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. So when you got into airsoft, did it make you more interested in like real firearms as well, or?
yeah, actually it did a little bit, I can't buy a handgun, but I can go buy a rifle if I have the money for it right now, which is a little ridiculous to me, but uh but I'm looking at
What
stuff
is it
right
now?
now. Huh?
You couldn't. Oh, you could buy a rifle. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only buy a rifle. I can't buy a handgun, which
Oh,
I
dude,
get,
that
but
rule is. I don't get it at all. I
yeah,
don't get it at all.
like I
It's
could do more damage
ridiculously
with a
dumb.
AR-15 than a Glock. You
It's
know what I mean?
so dumb the way they come up with these rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
need common sense.
I one day I was just driving back from Cookville to come home from college, and I was just like, I kind of got turned around somehow. I don't know how I managed to pull that off, and I drove by a gun store. It was like Nashville Armory or something. I was like, you know what? I want to pop in there, see what they got. And they had the Devore, which I love it. So I was like, that's pretty cool. They
Yeah.
also had an M249,
Ooh.
just semi-locked and all that. I was just like,
Right.
how the fuck do they do this?
Yeah.
How are you able? I mean, I understand, it's semi-auto only. There's no full auto on it,
Yeah.
but like, how are you still able to sell this? That is ridiculous. I expected to walk into just like maybe an AK somewhere, like and like worse, like uh worse than like an airsoft store. You walk in there, it's just all M4s, maybe an
Right.
AK. That's
Uh-huh.
all I expected to walk in and see. Just
Yeah, yeah.
handguns and M4s and AR-15s. But no, they had everything, man.
Yeah, dude.
which is just so
240
surprising to me.
Bravos, fucking. You can buy a 50 cal machine
Yeah,
gun. If you have
yeah,
the class 3 license or whatever it is, you know, you can get a 50 cal machine gun, you can get a flamethrower, you can get a grenade launcher, you can get a rocket launcher. Like,
yeah,
I love it. I love it. I think I'm pretty extreme with when it comes to like gun rights. I think there should be no gun laws at all. Zero,
yeah.
none, none at all. And everyone always jumps to the extreme. Oh, you should be able to buy a battleship. I'm like, yeah, if you got the money, yeah. Why not? Um, it's not having something that is the issue. It's what you do with it.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
have, car crashes kill so many people per year. And I'm not going to go into it, but it's the whole gun law thing has zero to do with public safety. If it did, and you look at just numbers, sheer numbers,
Yeah,
then guns would not even be looked at. Okay, not even looked at.
yeah,
Talk to a fireman, talk to a paramedic in all these different big cities, whatever, and ask them how many mutilated bodies they clean up every weekend from car crashes.
yeah,
Little kids too, okay? But you never see it on the news. So it's 100% an agenda-based, political-based laws to make people feel better
yeah,
that don't have a real effect on the bottom line number of saving human beings. Has nothing to do with that. It's just their agenda to de-arm Americans. So I am completely on the other side, like zero gun laws. But so a 12-year-old should be able to, yes, like an adult, should be
yeah,
with him. But minors, that's a whole different setup. But I mean, look, so here's a simple comparison. There are things that are unsafe that we're allowed to have in our homes, right? That
yeah,
there's no laws for. So as a parent, did you grow up? Most kids grow up under the kitchen sink. We have bleach, or in the laundry room we have bleach. We have ammonia. We have certain things that you put the parents put little lock things on their cupboards
yeah,
so that their 3-year-old doesn't get in there when they're when the mom and dad or whatever, like taking a shower or getting ready or taking a crap or something, um, and so they don't get in there and drink a bottle of bleach and die.
yeah,
Okay. Does that happen? It still happens.
yeah.
Little
No,
kids
we
die
have
getting poisoned.
we
But
got them stupid little things on our cabinets right now because
yeah,
my nephew just goes in there. I can't even open them.
right.
I hate it.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta, this
Childproof
is
stuff has also locked me out.
now
And
look, is there a law? Does the
no,
government have anything to do with your parents putting, were you putting this lock on the cupboard? No. That's common sense as a parent. If you
yeah,
want to take care of your kids and protect them, this is what you do. Same thing with the bleach. There's no law that says you can't buy bleach and have it in your home, even though it's dangerous for kids.
yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's the same thing.
yeah. I got you.
It's you're giving the responsibility to the adult and saying, "Hey, this is your responsibility." I think we should have that same responsibility with guns.
Yeah,
Okay? Just because people got weirded out and pussified and like afraid of guns and stop teaching their kids about guns, that ain't my fault, okay?
yeah.
Quit
No,
making new
so
laws.
I even so every day working at the airsoft field, I see that every day.
Are you looking for a company that puts the community first? Look no further than Jefe'sAirsoftSolutions.com. Their founding principle is to offer a way for players of all types to get the greatest experience possible. Their passion is to make a difference in the airsoft community and serve each of their customers with the utmost respect. Be part of the conversation by joining hundreds of fellow airsofters in their Discord server. Here you can find out about upcoming events, sales, giveaways, and more. Don't wait any longer. Join today and start enjoying all that Jefe's Airsoft Solutions has to offer. Together we can make a difference in the community.
I mean, of course you get like, a 10-year-old who comes in, he's scared of airsoft. But we started, since the old head ref, or the latest head ref left, we started a new rule. We have a briefing room that's on the field, so you have to have your mask on. You can put your mag in and take your barrel cover off.
Yeah.
However, you cannot shoot in that room because
Gotcha.
that's, in my experience, where I've seen everybody take their mask off because they think it's safe. So And also, I'm trying to explain a game mode, and my legs are getting peppered, and that's just annoying.
Yeah, that's
So
annoying as shit, bro.
yeah. So we did it where you shoot your gun, you sit out a game, and we give you a strike. We have a 3-strike rule. One
Gotcha.
strike, warning, 2 strikes, you sit out a game, 3 strikes, you're done for the day.
Yeah.
So we started doing that just because of that, and there's so many times. So our rental guns, the safety doesn't work all the time, and they're just like, well, how is that my fault? And I'm like, you're supposed to treat this like a real gun.
This is your safety.
Yeah, do not put your finger on that trigger until you're ready to shoot something.
Right.
Like, how is that?
Oh my god.
Just because there's a safety doesn't mean you should trust it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
the
just
safety is you
ridiculous
don't pull the trigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez. Oh, that's funny. Oh my god. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
much.
that's a good point. Being a ref there, that's what I was talking with Marcus about. Like you're really, you get all these younger generation in. You got you're teaching them a lot. You're teaching them the gun safety stuff. You're teaching them how to be honorable on the field, call your hits. You're teaching them, hey, have a cool head, be level-headed. Okay, like you're more than just a ref on the field. Like it's kind of a big job, even though it doesn't seem like it. It's a big responsibility for you guys, being on, involved with that, because you're dealing with the teenage groups.
Yeah.
And that are, and I'm not putting them down, man. Like when I was a teenager, I mean, we all know, guys and girls, our hormones are going fucking crazy when we're teenagers.
Yeah.
And we're getting to the age where we're tired of being told what to do by our mom and dad and our teachers. We want to kind of express ourselves in our own way, and like, fuck you, I know what I'm doing, even though we don't, but at least I want to try and make my own mistakes.
Yeah.
And so you're going through all this shit, and so you guys have, at the fields, you guys have these guys show up, and maybe they just got bitched out that morning. Who knows?
Yeah.
And so they get on the field and they're like, I'm just gonna fucking blast somebody, to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like not a lot of people could do that every weekend, dealing with the groups like that.
Yeah. No, we have like the little kids. Oh my god. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about them, but it's like, because it's part of my job. I know what I go into every day.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes I feel like, maybe the parent should kind of just explain a little bit to them before they come in. But also we have, like, for parties, we go in there and we explain every single rule. We make them watch a video that explains every single rule. And then they go on the field and they just break the rules. And I don't get that. I get, you're 10, you don't really know what's going on. But it's like, I've told you, like, 4 times, don't take your mask off. And I see you taking your mask off, and I'm just kind of like,
dude,
what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I know. That's one thing I definitely would be like, hey, why are you taking your mask? I don't understand how it's so hard to, like, to follow that rule. When you walk past this line, the mask stays on 100%, no exceptions. I don't care if you got an itch on your face, don't fucking scratch it till you get off the field. Like, dude.
And the main excuse is my mask is fogging up, and I'm like, okay, walk over here then, man.
Yeah.
Come get one of us. We'll escort you to the door if you legitimately cannot see. And we'll make sure you get there.
Dude, when you guys rent the rental stuff you guys have at the store, is it like the mask or whatever?
Yeah, it's the
kind of like dye masks.
So we actually started something new, which I'm actually really happy about. Is we do a standard rental and then a premium rental. The standard rental, you have that Valken camo, just rental vest, same mask. The mask does not fog up. It's just that standard rental mask. I've worn it when I first stared playing. Never fogged up.
Yeah, it has enough vents all around it to,
Yeah, and it's got, like, it's full seal on her eyes, so it has, like, the top, it's exposed and everything, so
right.
Doesn't fog. But the premium we do what do they call it? I think they're Lancer Tactical brand. It's just it's like a knockoff dye mask. Gotcha. It's like this big. Like, if I wore it, you would be able to see my teeth on it, man.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny to me, but like, little kids, they fit perfectly fine in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Those don't fog up at all. They look like dye masks, but they're like just smaller.
Gotcha.
They don't fog up
Yeah.
at all, so I don't understand why I keep having these issues. Where it's like my
Yeah.
mask is fogging. I'm like, no, it's not.
Maybe they're
I
just not, you know, I mean, it is difficult to, you lose all your peripheral vision. Like, you
Yeah.
don't, it's hard to see,
Yeah.
which I understand. They're not, you know, it's not like they wear these every day around the house, so they're not used to it. It does itch when you start
Yeah.
sweating, you know, like it gets uncomfortable. So that's probably a, you know, a big factor in it, which I
Oh,
understand.
definitely.
But it's, dude, yeah, one freaking BB in the eyeball, bro. Like,
Yeah. No. So I'm really bad at you know, whenever they're on the field and they do it, like especially in that briefing room, I'm just instantly yelling at them like, put your mask on, put your mask on,
yeah.
put your mask on. And sometimes they just don't. Like they're looking at me and I'm like, put your mask on, and they're like, huh? I was like, dude, what are you doing? So I get them to get it on, because I can't. When I first started, if I saw that and like they wouldn't do it, I would pull it down on them. I can't do that. I'm not supposed to do that.
Why?
So I'm sorry.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't pull it down. You can't pull it down for them, which which is kind of ridiculous to me, because it's like if they're not listening to me, I need to do it. But once I get them off the field, I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry for yelling at you, because I've made kids cry.
Good.
Like I've generally made them cry,
They
man.
need to
then,
cry.
Yeah.
They
and
need
then I have
this.
to go talk to their dad and explain everything, and I'm like,
Well,
I'm not
look,
yelling at your son for no reason.
The parents. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier too. Is parents have gotten really fucking lazy, bro.
Yeah.
As parents, they've gotten really fucking lazy, and it's really sad. I'm not, you know, and I'm not saying this as if me and my wife were the best parents in the world, but there are some basics you got to teach your kids: good manners, respect, you know, and then safety stuff.
Yeah.
So how to drive a car. It's the most dangerous thing they'll ever do in their whole life, as far as statistically. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't just wait until they're 16 or 15 and a half and put them in this driving school that's like 6 weeks, and then now they got their license. Like, give me a fucking break, bro. That's why there's so many accidents. Okay, teach them when they're 12. Let them drive in a parking lot somewhere. Do your diligence as a parent. Okay, teach them firearm safety from a very young age, so that they're not like ooh and awed by it when they're like 14 and go to a friend's house and pick it up and don't know how to handle it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like teach them about drugs, alcohol, chemicals that you can get poison from. Oh Lord. And then these kids go out to your field and they're like, what? And then now, like you said, you know, this whole I'm a minor, you can't touch me thing.
Yeah.
That never happened back then. Adult, if we were out somewhere when I was a minor, if you're fucking around, it was that fuck around and find out. An adult would grab you by the back of your shirt and walk you home. and your parents would spank the shit out of you if, you know, if you were acting up. You would never, nobody would ever say to an adult, I'm a minor, go ahead, I dare you to hit me, because that dude would fucking hit you. Like he wouldn't punch you in the face, but you know, they're gonna smack the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And these kids, they don't have that anymore.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
really sad. It's really sad. But yeah, that's now you're stuck in a situation where you got, yeah, that is pretty difficult. But
fortunately,
you guys are handling a lot of things at once.
Yeah, fortunately, you know, when you're yelling at someone to, you know, put their mask on, everyone else kind of looks at you and be like, "Oh shit, you know, I should
like,
probably not be shooting my gun." Yeah.
Yeah, right. Everyone stops. You're like, okay.
So, like, for instance, so like, you know, every field, you know, has like the blind man sees fire stuff.
Right.
I've only had to do that once. And that was because, like, as we're pulling everybody in, I see this like little kid. He doesn't even look. We have an age minimum of 10, right?
Yeah.
He does not look 10. And as he's going onto the field, he's playing with his mask, you know, moving it. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep an eye on this kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the PA doing everything, and I look over. I see him go into his spawn and take his mask fully off, like just completely off his head. And I'm just like, so I call it in. And I'm like, I knew it, man. You know, like,
yeah, that's scary.
I don't even think he was 10. I think they found out he was like 8 or something.
Yeah, you guys don't check. You just take the word of the parent.
No, so we have a waiver. You have to sign a waiver for liability reasons, but I mean, I haven't signed that waiver in probably 2 years, so I don't remember. And also, I'm a grown man. I don't need like my parents' signature or anything on it. So I don't remember if it was. There's obviously like probably no like verification for your age. So, and obviously you
Well,
can't pull a
unfortunately,
10-year-old and be like, show me your ID. Let me see when you were born. You know what I mean? So,
unfortunately, those waivers that these people do for fields, airsoft fields,
yeah,
for big events, you can sign 5 waivers, right?
yeah,
But when a minor's involved, bro, that waiver, even an adult, that waiver isn't ironclad in court.
yeah.
Is not ironclad in court. It's
Also,
unfortunate it's like
if like
that,
you
but
put the wrong age, waiver's invalid.
right.
So if you, because that was something I learned at the trampoline park, because you know everyone was getting hurt over there, you know, snapping legs,
Oh
ankles.
Jesus.
Dude, if I ever saw like someone who looked like over 400 pounds get on the trampoline, I knew it was coming. I know how fucked up that is to say, but I knew it was coming. Because
That's
then
not fucked up to say. You're just saying a statistical fact here, okay?
look, man,
Holy
when you
shit.
when you see them start getting some height and they looking to
And
put
they're
their legs straight down, you know what's
big
coming,
dudes.
man. So like that happened. We had to call the ambulance, man. They couldn't even get her on the stretcher.
Oh my
But
God.
um,
I saw this video the other day. Speaking of that, I saw this video. It might have been on Instagram Reels or something.
yeah,
Dude, like a backyard party, bunch of guys like young, like maybe in their 20s,
yeah,
drinking and partying. There's a in-ground pool with a slide,
yeah.
and this dude looks like he's 400 pounds
Oh my god.
and gets up on there. I can't believe the ladder held him. And he
Yeah.
goes to go down. He slides halfway down, and the slide, he breaks through the slide.
Oh god.
You know, the fiberglass slide. It's I was like, oh, that's gotta hurt, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god, man.
He needs to go out and play airsoft so he doesn't,
Yeah, man.
getting
No,
getting a little bit of
playing
shape.
during the summer, man. Like I said last time I played one game and I was dripping, like
Oh,
just
I'm sure.
dripping in sweat, man.
Yeah.
It's so you go out there play 1 or 2 games, you're gonna feel like shit, but you know
There's a lot of
you'll
people,
definitely get that cardio in.
right? A lot of people that use it or, really benefit
Yeah,
exercise wise or whatever from playing airsoft.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like I'm running around dying on that indoor field. I could not imagine doing it at an outdoor field right now. You know, going up and down
Oh,
hills and
right.
stuff like that. Actually having to like you said, having to look out where I'm going. You know, I'd eat shit so fast. Some tree branch just gonna take me out, man.
Yeah. Well, I remember, we watch these movies and everything's so planned and scripted, every scene, and it should be. I mean,
Yeah,
we're not, we want to be entertained in a movie. It's not supposed to be perfectly realistic. It's
yeah,
fine. So, but I remember reading when I got in the military, I read all these books. And so I was reading a couple books a month or whatever. And I was reading, I got on to Richard Marcinko,
yeah,
who's the Navy SEAL that started SEAL Team 6 or Red Cell. And then he had a stream of books that came out. So his first one was actually a autobiography. He went to prison over it. So, like Leavenworth, like military prison, because
oh,
they
okay.
said he didn't follow the rules as far as what he was allowed to write about and shit.
Okay.
So it's really ridiculous. But anyway, he was so I was reading some in his books, and he's talking like this is a trained SEAL, like one of the most badass motherfucking
Yeah,
SEAls on the planet. Okay, and he's talking about how on these missions, and he's very descriptive in his writing, and how his bootlace catches on something on the ship that they boarded.
yeah,
And they're trying to be stealthy, whatever, and it catches on this whatever, some kind of side of crate or something, and he trips and he breaks his finger and like fucking, just one little tiny thing like this. It's
yeah,
like this clumsy kind of thing that happens because it's dark. They've got nods on, like it's you can't see everywhere. You're limited vision. But we see these movies and shows and we think, man, everything goes perfectly all the time. Like, these guys that are badass
yeah,
operators, like, oh, they never fall down. What are you talking about? No, man, that's not real life. Real life, these
yeah,
fuckers fall all over the place,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
See,
Just less often than you and me do. Okay.
yeah,
Are you tired of the same old, impersonal airsoft experience? Looking for a place that feels like home? Look no further than TNT Airsoft, where we treat you like family. At TNT Airsoft, we're not just another airsoft field. We're a family-run business that knows how to make your airsoft experience truly unforgettable. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time player, our dedicated staff is here to ensure you have a blast. From the moment you step onto our field, you'll feel the warmth and camaraderie that only a family-run business can provide. And the best part? Our community is like no other. You'll make lifelong friends who share the same passion for airsoft as you do. TNT Airsoft isn't just a place to play and shop. It's a place where memories are made, where bonds are formed, and where you become part of our extended family, so don't settle for an average airsoft experience. Join the TNT Airsoft family today and discover a whole new level of excitement, camaraderie, and fun. Check us out online at tntairsoft.net.
See about talking to like the owners of the airsoft field. If I can like record games that like I'm reffing, for just like the stupid shit that like, you know, like people falling and stuff. I mean, obviously get permission for everything, but like people eating shit, the stupid stuff that's said to me. Like basically, I mean, I feel like you wouldn't need permission because when you walk onto that field, you have like 80 cameras already pointed at you, already rolling and everything. Like I was talking to one of the regulars, and he wears like all blue flannel, everything like that. And this little 10-year-old comes up to me, he's like, "Are you a Crip?" And it's just like, and I look at him, I was like, "You got that on camera, did you?" He said, "Yeah." I was like, "I better see a clip of that somewhere, bro." So it's just like stuff like that. I want to be able to like post myself because that's just so funny to me. The stuff that is said is just so ridiculous and just oh man. Yeah,
That's
like especially
that's
like
the fun part of it, right?
absolutely.
The younger, younger generation with younger kids out there, like you never know, they're excited.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely no shortage of excitement. They're not out there like whatever. Like they're happy to be there. Most
they're
of the time,
happy to be there until they get shot once and they sit in their spawn for the entire game, man.
Yeah.
Happens too much. And then like I got people coming up to me be like, "These rentals aren't doing anything." I'm like, "Rally them, man. Give them
So
some
why do
confidence."
they sit in their spawn? Because it hurt?
I guess so. I mean, they get shot too much. They get a little scared. I mean, I was playing one day and I saw a kid like who was shell shocked. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he was on my team and he team killed me. I turned around and I was a little mad because I was like, he shot me basically at point like 5 feet, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" I turn around, dude's like in the fetal position with his gun like on the center of his chest, just straight ahead at me.
Huh?
I was like, "Dude, you are not okay." Oh my god!
Yeah.
So like, I grabbed him and I pulled him into spawn. I was like, "Hey man, you all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like lip quivering and everything. I'm like, "Dude, it's not that. It's not
I wonder
that
if, I wonder if that's got to be a common thing. Like,
absolutely.
maybe it's too young. Like,
yeah,
maybe they should have
I definitely
age,
think 10 is too young for airsoft. At an
or maybe
indoor
they
CQB
do.
field.
What if they do like if they ran like one or two game, like alternated,
Yeah.
game
So like
matches or something,
had
like a
the
mode
advanced group
would
and the
just
younger
be
group.
like, the younger group. Okay, 10 to 12-year-olds out there now. You hurry up, whatever, and then, but the only thing is you'd have to lower the joule limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more like a gel blaster, Nerf gun type of hit than an actual airsoft thing. Because, well, this is something I talked about. Marcus, I've talked about with, I don't know if we talked about with Huckleberry, but last few people I've talked with about these indoor fields where I said, well, why don't you see these cheater videos? And I don't mean cheater like, oh, I'm not calling my hit. Well, I guess it is. The in airsoft, you got the most common videos where the raging videos where they're pissed off. Typically, those are teenagers.
Yeah. No, and I can't
almost
stand
all
those.
the time. So
because they see a cheater
paintball doesn't
and then
have that.
Yeah, then they just full auto some little kid.
Right.
I can't
So
stand
why?
that.
And I've asked this question a handful of times. So why don't you see that same thing happening in paintball? And I already know the answer. It's because you don't have 12 to 15-year-olds playing paintball.
Yeah.
Why? Why aren't they playing paintball?
Because that shit hurts like hell, man.
There you
They're
go.
scared of
Because it
it.
fucking hurts. So this is what I was saying about, the airsoft thing. Like the remedy for this of people not calling their hit is incorporating pain. Well, how do you do that? Well, you just keep the same joule limit. You just you require them to they can only wear t-shirts
Yeah.
and their mask, and maybe cover the back of their head. You can cover the back of your head however you want. But as far as from your neck down to your waist and all this, you can't wear gloves and you can't wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
That'll fix a shit ton of problems because they're going to call their hit, like they're peeking and then their knuckle gets hit like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Bro, at 350 FPS, that shit, they're going to call it. Okay. They're going to call it. So I don't know. There's no easy answer, but that's a really simple one right there. Now, everyone's going to say, well, then we're going to lose all those players on the field. Well, you can incorporate something like I think MK Airsoft, one of their fields that they're opening up new, maybe they already opened it, I don't know, but they're incorporating a gel blaster field for the younger kids. So like 7 to, 12 or whatever.
We started, we're doing Nerf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we had like a private event where all the owners invited. I think they were people from their church, and they let them come and see how it goes. And they had like an hour-long meeting on it, like going over the fact that we already had broken Nerf guns. Well, it was mostly because I'm kind of to blame for that. So I found out that the little like the little ball ones, not like the darts. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I found out with the shotguns, if you load them up all the way and then overload them, they act like an actual shotgun. It'll shoot like 3-4 balls out at once.
Instead of one.
Yeah. So I told kids, I was like, if you do this, it'll shoot like a shotgun. And then a lot of the guns got jammed. So I'm partially the reason to blame for that because I was telling like a bunch of 6, 7, 8-year-olds to do that.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of cool though if it works.
I mean, it worked until they started breaking the guns.
Yeah.
So it worked whenever I did it every time. So
yeah, that's
we're gonna start offering Nerf for those little kids. Want to come play airsoft, but they're just too little for it.
Is it so Nerf? I've never tried a gel blaster. I really want to try one. I want to get one and try it out.
I got shot by one, but that's all I know. I think it was when I was playing airsoft. I think some kids brought it on there.
They don't shoot as hard as I've never looked at a review on one. So they're softer. They're like geared for younger kids.
Yeah, the guy shot me in the dye mask, but he shot me where the vents are.
Yeah.
So it just splattered and went into my mouth.
Oh, so it does actually break. It is like a mini paintball. Okay.
You know what the Orbeez are, right?
Orbeez, yeah. That's right.
they're just Orbeez, basically.
Okay.
So, any amount of pressure will just split them apart and they're just like filled with water.
Okay. I really want to get one and try it. I want to see, because I feel like that's a really good alternative for fields. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I've never run a field. I've been to an indoor field like twice, and it's the one we've been to that before they closed down, Airsoft Columbia down here in South Carolina. They had a standard 400 FPS and no med on the field.
Damn.
Across the board. Didn't matter what gun you had, didn't matter whatever.
At an
indoor field. 400 FPS, no med. And because everyone that came there, this was a standard rule they had from like the time they opened. Everyone knew this. So look, people that didn't know this and come out there and they didn't dress appropriately or they didn't, whatever, like you get shot, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like you'd hear guys going, when they get hit from 10 feet away.
Yeah.
But everyone knew, so they dressed appropriately and everyone called their hit the first time because that fucker hurts. Okay. But they never had any issues. Yeah.
We don't have a medium engagement distance so our AEG, like gas blowback rifles is the FPS is 415. If you're at like 415.1 consistently, we'll give you like a 10 or like 416. We'll give you like a 10-foot engagement distance.
Gotcha.
That's it. HPA, we have you set at 1.5 joules and 335 FPS.
Okay.
And then we block your tank. And then if I need to go spot chrono and I see you fucked with your shit, you're out. So
that's what Mark was saying. It made me laugh when he said HPA because he was like, I always had 2 lines. He goes, I hope they still do it there. He was like, 1 line over here. All right, the experienced players or whatever, like what was the other line was the basically you're not very good,
Yeah.
kind of player. You're running HPA? Okay, you're in this line because, you're
Yeah.
you're not very good, so you need an HPA. He said he knew somebody. He's like, HPA, it just corrupts people, man. Like they get that power and they're just like, oh yeah, and then they just they turn into they're just gonna blast somebody like on purpose, like blast and
Yeah.
blast and blast.
I mean, as much as I just have the your tank and reg, high kappa adapter. That's all I got
Yeah,
right now, but I love it. It's so different, you
yeah,
know? And especially with a pistol, man. You know? I don't there was like one game I didn't even reload. I just had an M4 mag in there and I was just running through and hitting everybody, I was
yeah.
just it's just there's such a difference. Yeah, I got a little line going to my backpack, but that's it.
We
I
had
would definitely. People are so upset over that. They're like, "That's such a big trade-off," and I'm like, "How? It just gets snagged. Don't get it. Don't let it get snagged. Be
Yeah,
good.
don't let it get snagged. Yeah.
Yeah, don't have it.
Yeah, it's
It's a skill
surprisingly
issue.
easy. Like those the way you have your line run, it doesn't get caught, it doesn't get on the way in the way. But
Yeah,
these we probably went a good, I don't know, year and a half, maybe a year and a half on our channel before
yeah,
I even tried an HPA type of gun. Now we did gas pistols, the
yeah,
gas blowback pistols. But Johnny and one of our viewers that lives close to us, Todd, he came over with HPA, showed Kythera build he did, showed us that. We got to shoot it. It was really cool. That was my first time shooting one. And
yeah.
then very, very smooth. He had actually a mock suppressor on the end. Well, it was really like a suppressor. You put the foam in it and everything.
Yeah,
You it you couldn't even hear the air. Like,
yeah,
psst, it was barely anything. So, and this thing was shooting pretty decent. I mean, just very consistent. But then he brought over an AAP01 with a
oh
M4
yeah,
adapter, tapped mag,
yeah,
and we used that, and that was fun. But yeah, I think if I played all the time, I would probably have one of each, like an AAG, decent rifle, and then an HPA setup, because there'd be times where if I just want to go real quickly, like
yeah,
no mess, no nothing, just real light, just grab the AEG, slap that battery in, you're good to go for however long, and then,
yeah,
but if for longer stuff, I would, the HPAs are really consistent
yeah.
in how they shoot.
I have a little project I'm trying to put together. I'm gonna HPA and SVD.
Okay.
I put an F2 into it. So I actually really lucked out because I ordered the gun Boneyard from Evike.
Yeah.
The only thing that was wrong with it was like the two screws that hold the stock in were stripped. So you just put bigger screws, fix the problem. So right
Nice.
now I'm just waiting for the money and waiting for Evike to get more F2 version the version 3 for the AK,
Mm-hmm.
and it's set. And I just need to get a new nozzle for it.
Okay.
And that is like my outdoor HPA gun. It's I mean like because it's gonna still have full auto. I'm gonna have a full auto
Oh, okay.
HPA sniper,
I was
which
gonna
is
say
just
a
gonna
sniper, yeah.
yeah
See, I've seen those
it's
a couple
gonna piss
times.
people off.
HPA sniper, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're I'm not a fan of snipers. The bolt action at least.
Yeah.
If it's green gas and or something like that or an AAG, I could definitely get behind it. But
Gotcha.
also, you see the videos of people who are sniping and then they're like, this guy's not calling his hits. So they shoot him in like the balls or something or like right on the nose. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, just move on. You know what I mean?
See,
I
I
that's
couldn't. I couldn't.
that's my biggest thing. If
If
somebody's
people
not
aren't
calling
calling their
it,
hit all day,
yeah,
you shoot it. You see in your scope, you see that they get hit. You see that they know they got hit because
yeah,
they flinch and they look around. Then they
yeah.
still don't call it. Bro, I'm shooting you right in the fucking face, bitch. Okay, like I'm gonna make you call that shit like that. That would be me for sure. Like
Yeah.
I'm not, not saying it's the right way to do it, but it's well, like I said, this is goes back to that initial thing is, when there's pain involved, it holds people accountable.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what needs to happen. If somebody is cheating, how do you get them to not cheat? One way is like what the call your hit thing is, make it hurt enough to where they don't want to get overshot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
See,
You know.
I feel bad because there's been a couple instances where I didn't call my hit, but it was
Yeah.
also because I, was shot. I call it the pussy gun in this instance
Yeah.
because dude shot me like 3 times in the back, and I was just like, "What the fuck was that?" You know?
You didn't know. You didn't really. You couldn't
Yeah,
tell it was
it felt
for
like it was
sure.
a
It was real light.
ricochet. Yeah, It
Yeah,
felt like
yeah.
someone just like tapped me on the back, and I was just
Right.
like, that was weird. So I just kind of stood there and I looked around everywhere. And I get shot 7 more times in the back, and I was like, oh, okay, someone's actually shooting me. I walk over to one of the rest, my coworker, and I'm like, hey, if someone says I'm not calling my hits, tell him I said he's got a pussy gun or something. Because that must be like that $100 gun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's $50 Dick's gun, man.
Yeah, it's
That
the
shit.
it's shooting 220 with .12s, okay?
Yeah,
If
exactly,
it
man.
shoots any hotter, the .12s are going to shatter inside of it. That's what it
Yeah.
is. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know a real answer to the not call your hit thing, but it's a super common thing that
Yeah.
unfortunately is well, I think mostly, well, I don't know. Who knows? I was
See,
going to say mostly it's the younger generation, the teenagers, but it's
not
not.
even. It's
It's really
really
not.
not. See, my
Like,
thing is, I really don't understand it. I get it. Like in my instance where I just talked about, I
yeah,
didn't know. I
that's
could have
different.
easily
That's
chalked that
different.
up to ricochet.
That's
But
totally different.
yeah. But then you got these grown ass men who don't want to call it being shot, and I'm just like, dude, why?
I don't get
Just
it.
go walk 10 feet back to your. You didn't even get out of your spawn. Just go walk back. You know what I mean?
They're too tired, okay? They're too lazy. They're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Can I just sit here and time out or something, okay?
And I'm definitely like when I got people coming up to me telling me like, "Hey, this guy's not calling hits," and I'm just like, "Okay, shoot him till he does."
Yeah,
I'm like, so we have a 3-shot overshooting rule. So I'm
right.
like, shoot him 3 times, put your gun down. Shoot him 3 more times. Still don't call it. Come get one of us, and I will tell me exactly who it is, and I'll go get him.
Yeah.
But see, then that
You
happens so
guys,
much, and then they're like, "Yeah, it's that guy with the M4 over there, or it's the guy in the camo, or the guy with the dye mask," and I'm like, "Dude, that ain't nothing. You just described the entire field right there."
yeah, exactly. That's everybody.
Yeah,
So when you guys, if somebody tells you, do you guys, what do you call it when the ref like actually hides somewhere and shoots somebody to see if they're
hit
calling it?
checking.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
do you guys do that?
yes.
Okay.
So it's a little difficult because we have towers across the field, and
Okay.
I'll have my little high cap, and I'll go up there, and I'll like if there's someone I'm specifically watching, I'll try to get it where like the thing is you can't shoot them in the back because then they'll think it's a team hit, and then they will
Oh,
probably
and they
won't
won't
call
call it.
that.
Okay. It's
So you
not a
got to
real
find a way to
test.
like
Yeah.
shoot them in the side or the front or in the mask,
Right, right.
and from coming up front, but also make it look like you didn't just shoot them. Like
Yeah.
I had to do it once against one of our players, and I lined up the shot. He was side of me, and I lined it up to like hit him kind of like right here.
Uh-huh.
So I shot him, and then immediately threw my gun on the ground because I was like, and then just like, da da da, I'm
Oh, act
watching the
like you didn't do
game,
yeah, yeah. Act like
Yeah,
it wasn't you.
I didn't just shoot you or anything
Right,
because
yeah.
he immediately turned and like poked his head through the window and was like, where the hell did I just get shot from? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But yeah, no, it's just like stuff like that, and it's like it at our field it's a little bit more harder to do it because like I said, if you're just in your spawn and you get shot in the back and no one's behind you, you're just gonna be like, all right, that's weird. I'm gonna keep going. So
It would be a really hard thing to do on a lot of these indoor fields because
yeah,
there's so many barricades and so many like it's CQB, like
yeah.
it's
Legitimately, you have to wait. If you're gonna hit check, you have to wait for the perfect
yeah,
shot. Because if you just shoot a guy, it's just not gonna. It's just not
right.
gonna work.
That's
So
true. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, man.
I really
It's
don't
hard
like
to
it.
do.
I hate having to do
Yeah,
it
it'd be
because I'm focused more on that than actually roughing the game.
mm,
So
yeah. I mean, luckily your most of your games are just open plays, like they're not like a serious tournament or something. Like you
yeah,
guys do tournaments, but the majority
yeah,
of what you run of what you're reffing are just, like you said, the younger guys out there doing just messing around, just having
yeah,
fun. So it's not too it's not too crazy where
yeah.
people aren't at each other's throats like every match or something.
Oh no, they still
So
are.
Are they?
They,
Oh,
they still are.
Jesus. I
No,
had hope.
they
Oh,
still are, man.
oh shit.
Even it's just
There's no
overpriced.
hope.
You know, you pay $15 on Friday to get in, or like $30, $40 to play all day.
Yeah.
You still get enemies, man. I don't get it.
Uh,
You have one instance of someone not calling their hits. Your day apparently your day's just ruined, and you just got to be an asshole about it.
oh,
You
that's
know.
terrible. Okay.
And my biggest thing is that like when people come up to me and be like, "Hey, this guy's not calling hits," and I'm like, "All right, I can't just like you're the first person to say this. I need
Right.
proof." You know.
Yeah.
And then they got like their GoPro on their head, and they're like, "I wasn't recording," and I'm like, "Then why start recording? Why do you have the
Yeah.
GoPro if you're not using it?" Like I need to actually
Well,
visually see it happen
let me ask
before
you
I
this,
go up there
because
and do
last
something.
year I was seeing some of the people I was talking with said that and this was there was definitely more than one. It was a handful of people I talked with that said their indoor fields did not they stopped allowing them to record on the field because of the cheater videos, or the the raging videos were giving the fields a bad name because they had like parents complaining to the field owners and whoever's running the field and stuff,
Yeah,
that they saw these videos, and this is like, oh, we don't want this to happen to our 12-year-old out here, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
they so did you guys ever have an issue like that where you don't let people
No,
record? Okay. Okay.
you can record, dude. You could just you could record just the briefing room,
Yeah.
the ready room, and that's all. If you just want that as a clip, put it on YouTube. You can do it. You
Nice.
know, you can. I mean, I was gonna say you could take that into the bathroom, but I was gonna say actually let's not do that.
No, you cannot take it to the bathroom. Turn
Yeah,
your
let's not
GoPro
do
off, you go in the bathroom.
that. But
This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, the future of airsoft gameplay management. Are you ready to take airsoft to the next level? Skirmish's innovative gameplay management solution tracks your every move, helping you dominate the field and achieve your full potential. Capture objectives, detonate targets, medic, and more at Skirmish-enabled fields. We track every action so you don't have to. Review, replay past games action by action, and follow your progress in national rankings. Phones are not required. Get connected with the only system that tracks your airsoft progress. If you want to find out more, check out episode 157 where I talk with the owner of Skirmish about how it started and how it works. Visit skirmish.net to check it out and watch games across the nation.
no,
That's
man,
funny.
like if you look up National Airsoft, there's just one fight video, and it's like
Gotcha.
it was posted by like Airsoft Wolfie or something. He doesn't even do airsoft anymore.
Yeah,
And
I had him on here. Oh,
you had him
Wolfie.
on here?
Yeah, isn't I think that's the one. He maybe. I think that was him.
I
Yeah,
gotcha. Well, he just quit making airsoft videos. He's like focusing
Oh.
on like cars and stuff. I haven't seen him on the field.
Oh,
I've
that's
seen him only a
right.
couple times, but
That's
I
right.
haven't seen
He
him on the
did.
field in months.
Wolfie, yeah, shout out Wolfie. I did have him on. I do
Yeah.
remember that now. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was a few months ago. He posted something on his Instagram saying that he was going to do, and maybe his YouTube, that he
Yeah.
was going to change into working on doing car stuff.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's the only one who had like an actual like fight video for National
That's
Airsoft.
right.
And I hate to say it, but it's like it's so funny to me. I love to look up National Airsoft clips
Sure.
because then I get to see like people like there's one video. The guy's breaking all these rules. Like, you're not supposed to be shooting through cracks. You're not supposed to be climbing on our cars. And he's doing all that.
Yeah.
And like one guy calls him out for shooting through the cracks, and he calls him a baby because he like puts a picture of a baby crying. And I was like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Like, bro, that's you literally breaking the rules and calling this dude a baby for you breaking the rules. And I want to be that guy so badly and be like, just keyboard warrior. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey man, you're breaking this rule, this rule, this rule. Get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine posting a video and then the ref at that field goes on that and comments on it and be like, dude, you're a dick. You know what I mean? You're being an idiot. I feel
Yeah.
like that would just be so funny. But we don't ever really
Yeah,
get the
that's
fights
uh-uh.
posted or anything. There was something that happened a few months ago between two of our regulars. There's a game I know Marcus talked about it, Stickman.
Yeah.
We haven't had the refs do it. I let players do it because
Okay.
that's more fun for them. You know,
Yeah.
you let a little 10-year-old chase grown men around with a sword. Is pretty funny.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I was gonna say. Remind
Yeah,
me what. Yeah, say it again now. How's
Stickman.
that Stickman? Yeah.
Yeah, so
What do you play?
we let there's the players are invincible. Whoever the Stickman is, they run around and they tag players. Basically, with the
That's right.
sword, if you get hit, you're out. We let other players, if they have their own sword or like a melee weapon or something, I let them get into duels. And if you beat the Stickman's disabled for like 15, 10, 20 seconds.
Gotcha.
So kind of like a Juggernaut game mode because we can't do Juggernaut.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, and then with that, shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
The fight videos or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
You guys don't have. Yeah, you guys don't have many.
There was one instance where we were doing that game mode, and one of our guys, one of our regulars, he tags a guy with he's Stickman. He tags him. He doesn't call it. He just starts lighting up, not lighting up, but he's still shooting the little kids behind him, and he's basically like, dude, you're out. Like what the fuck are you doing? So he grabs his gun, like the barrel of his gun, and puts it to the wall. He's like, dude, you're out. And I was like, first of all, he shouldn't have done that. So I already talked to him about it. But the guy who had his gun grabbed, I mean, just sucker punches him right at the mask, like right here. But the funny thing is, the guy's a Marine. The guy who got hit is a Marine, so he just took that shit.
Yeah.
He didn't hit back. He didn't do anything. He took that shit, and it's so funny to me because I mean, like, dude, if he would have fought back, you would have had your ass out so quick. So, and it's even better because I wasn't told none of the rest. They didn't tell any of the refs until like 10 minutes later. He's like,
Yeah.
hey man, I got punched on the field. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, yeah, that guy over there just punched me on the field. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I went to my manager and we pulled up the video. And I wish the guy who got punched asked if he could get a video of it. And I was like, I wish I could have. So that way I could see it again.
Yeah.
Because you see him eat that punch, dude. It's so amazing. So that's like the only instance we've had since. And I was just like, the guy who punched him got banned. And I had to send the other guy home because that was like the second time I've talked to him about touching other people's guns. So I was just like, you're both done. He ain't coming back. You can come back here tomorrow. If you need to talk to Hayden, you can. But just, you both fucked up. But I was like, thank you for not whooping his fucking ass, bro.
Well, do you guys have like so if you ban players or whatever, like a short ban or something, or timeout, whatever you call it, like do they does it help? Do they cool off, and when they come back they're better?
So we have temporary bans and perma bans.
Right.
Like we had one guy so we found out that some of the regulars, like especially the guys who've been playing here for like a long ass time, they would sometimes come in for free. That was not supposed to be the case. So it started being we had to check everybody's wristband. If you didn't have a wristband, you either go buy one or you go home. Well, we found one of the guy I'm talking about, he didn't have a wristband, and then I don't know. He was sitting in there talking to the GM because, they know each other. They've known each other for a long time. And I guess some shit happened, and he was like, dude, just don't come back for 30 days. So he got banned for 30 days. And then he came back, and everything was good. He's a good guy. I fuck with him. But still. And then the guy who I was talking about, punched the guy. He's permabanned. And Dylan, the tech, was just telling me the other day, he was like, CJ's going to come back, right? And I was like, fuck, he ain't. I ain't. And, one of the owners walked by, and I'm like, and I was like, Steven, you hear that? He was like, what? CJ, he said, CJ's coming back. And he said, I don't know even who CJ is. And I was like, well, let's keep it that way, man. Because he was, one of you guys assaulted your customers. You don't want him coming back here.
No.
So, even if it was like like there was no permaban or anything.
Yeah.
If you got into a fight at NA, I don't care. Your ass would not come back.
Yeah, I agree. There's got to be
repercussions.
There has to be.
Yeah, because the thing is, so much of the airsoft rules is that so many people have the consequences. Or like they have all they cause all these issues, but then they don't face the consequences. Yeah, that's like when you take your mask off, I send you off. You don't play a game. They don't have that issue again. Once they're like, especially if they're younger, they're like, shit, I didn't get to play a game. They don't have an issue.
Right.
No, same with shooting in that briefing room.
It's gotta be.
You send them out for a game, they won't do it again.
If two guys are fighting in the back corner, and they're, one of the first things they're gonna do is pull each other's masks off, so they start hitting, so they or pull their own so they could see. And then if people are still playing, Like they don't know. BBs come around, like, bro, you like this can't even be a thing. Like it just cannot happen. So
exactly,
as a field owner, I would totally understand. This isn't a, you know, a good venue for letting them, you know, get their beefs out. Have you seen those videos, the street beefs, where those guys get in a you know, made up ring or whatever, you know, and it's just like they're friends or whatever, and they're just pissed off at each other, or they know this person, like they're from the neighborhood, and they're like, I don't like that dude. Okay, well, instead of gang violence, you know, shooting each other and shit, let's take it out here. It's kind of, I think that's how it started years ago.
Beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, dude. Best man wins, you know?
Yeah.
The best man on the best day, okay? Because they're not like trained fighters, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you might have a bad day, you might get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
But at least you learn some respect for each other. But the airsoft field is not one of those places to do that because of the safety stuff, liability stuff. Like your airsoft field would be done, bro. Like done. If you know, one of the parents decided to sue for some of these things that, like, you guys have a big job. That's what I'm saying. You know, the refs, you know, make sure their masks are on all the time. You got to make sure this shit, you know, people are fucking slinging their guns at each other like, you know, baseball bats. Like, bro, it's but most of the time it's like everyone's pretty cool. Most of the time they're
majority of the
fun.
time we don't have issues.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's good.
It's just like once something does happen, it's just kind of like all hell breaks loose, you know. Once one of the stupid shit.
That's
happen,
life,
you know,
bro. It's like it goes from 0 to 1,000
man.
instantly. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like, dude, that escalated fast. What?
Yeah. I mean, I especially try to, you know, not have a bad mood going into work, but it's like when it's not even been an hour and I've had to send the 6th kid out for taking his mask off, I'm just kind of like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
This is just ridiculous, man.
Well, that's another part of it. Like going in there as a ref, what kind of headspace are you in? You know, where are you at mentally? Because if you got shit going on, this is, you know, this is real talk. Like, you know, we're not robots. We're not the epitome of upstanding character and, you know, discipline. So, you know, we don't. Sometimes we're a little fucked up in the head. You know, we might be having a bad day. We might be feeling shitty about ourselves, or we might be, you know, that kind of thing. So, and sometimes that comes out on other people when you have to deal with when you're forced to deal with other people. So
absolutely,
it's
like I said, there's been times, man, I've made children cry. And it's just like, because they take their mask off.
I could see why you're feeling. Like, I know I made a joke earlier, but I could see why you'd feel bad about that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. I don't like.
You don't
as
want
much
to.
as like. Yeah. There's man.
But hey, sometimes, hey, look, if it's for safety stuff, you know, listen. When I was growing up, if we ran in the street the first time, because your parents teach you, don't go in the street, you know, and until you're older, you know, and you go out there and play kickball or something. But you run the street and mom sees you, she ain't talking nice to you. I promise you. You're getting a swat, okay?
Yeah.
The back of the head or friggin', you know, wooden spoon on your ass. That was that was the mom thing. So you know, you learn pretty quickly, like, okay, oh no. But so I mean, you're gonna, with you guys with safety stuff, you're gonna have to raise your voice. You can't go talk nice to a little kid that's like, you know, pulling his mask off every 2 seconds. Like, dude, you got to talk with authority. You got to make him know that, hey, this is important. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. You know, like, they don't know what that means because they don't know. Yeah. But, you know, you can't take that chance. Like, it's pretty important.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I know your goal is not to make them cry. It's to make them understand some of these things are really important that you have to follow. So.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, all in all, I don't really feel bad about when the kids cry. It's just when they go crying to their dad or their mom.
Oh yeah,
I gotcha. I gotta explain this to them. You know what I mean? It's more of that, but also, you know, I feel a little bit bad. But yeah, it's all about them. Just, you know.
Are the parents cool about that though? Are majority of parents, are they pretty cool with you guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They understand kind of like what they're bringing their kid to, right?
Once you explain to them that it's like, look, your son just took his mask off for the 2nd time on the field. I didn't mean to yell at him, but there was a game going. Blah 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 blah. It's for his safety. Then they're just like, okay, and then they look at their son. They're like, dude, you're a dumbass.
Yeah,
it's like,
keep
you know, do better.
On, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's never fun having angry parents
Oh God,
griping
yeah.
at you when you're trying to work.
Yeah. I dealt with that all the time at that trampoline park, man.
Dude, you
All
know
the
what's
time.
weird? It's so bad. Like, it just ruins it now. Like, wanting to, or when somebody said, when you first said it, like I worked at this trampoline, I was thinking, oh, that'd be cool as fuck. Like
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
No.
It's a fun environment. No, no, dude.
Oh man, it's miserable.
That's
I mean,
horrible.
the idea of it's fun, but
Right.
it's just don't on paper sounds good. The rest of it, nah,
It's
miserable.
terrible. Yeah.
So it just depends where you're at. I'd say location
Yeah.
of it. If you're in a good area, maybe. But just if people aren't a bunch of dumbasses, then yeah, no. Where I was at, God no, man, hell
Yeah.
no.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you got? What kind of airsoft plans do you have for the rest of the year? Are you wanting to go to any kind of LARPing events or mil
Uh,
sims or any kind of bigger events?
I would love to one day.
Okay.
I don't really have the money to right now.
Right.
Um,
Now, if you had the money right now,
if I had the money to right now and it
what
was a
event
perfect
would you be
world,
looking forward to?
probably Milsim West.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
something like that. So, I wouldn't be sleeping, doing the whole like sleeping in the middle of the field and shit. I ain't doing that because
Well,
I
then
wouldn't
don't
be
go
able
to
to sleep.
Milsim West.
Oh, I thought you could. Okay, I don't know if they gave you the option to also just like go sleep in your car or something.
No, you leave the
Oh,
field,
okay,
you're done. You can't come back.
really? Okay,
Oh no, that's the strictest one. Like if you go there and you don't have some of the stuff on the list, they
yeah,
send you a very detailed list of equipment you have to have. Like
yeah,
basic, it's like being in boot camp for 3 days without the drill instructor yelling at
yeah.
you about doing push-ups and shit. Okay,
Because I know
but
that some of them like give you checks for like multiple pairs of socks and shit like
yep,
that. Okay.
yeah, a lot of people have seen that video where the dad and the son are there, and the teenage, like 16 or 17-year-old son forgot a pair of socks or something, and his dad's like, "I told you." And I
Yeah.
think somebody was on here telling me, because I asked him, I was like, "Can they still play?" He's like, "I don't. They're pretty strict." He goes, I can't remember if they let you on. If you're missing some of that gear, they won't let
Yeah.
you play, and you don't get a refund. So they're
God.
extremely strict. So it is. And like Mr. OT, he was his very first milsim ever was
Yeah.
in Milsim West. He didn't know that it was that strict. And he said he wasn't feeling great. He wasn't 100%. He didn't feel, he kind of felt under the weather going there, but he lasted 9 hours out of a 40-hour event.
Yeah.
And he went back, he left the field because he didn't feel good. They won't let you back on. You're done. Once you leave, you're done. And 100% immersive from the time it starts and says go
Yeah.
until it's over.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so now Third Coast Airsoft and these other ones like Lion Claws, Third Coast, American Milsim. I'm not sure about American Milsim, how strict they are, but I do know I'm familiar with the Third Coast. So TCA events, they'll do like 2 hours of gameplay. You have complete freedom to go
Yeah.
play or to come off, go back to the campground, which is in walking distance. It's right there on the same,
Yeah.
area. So that one is a lot of my boys. They love that kind of style. They
Yeah.
like it. They never quit before the game time is over. They like being out there the whole time, but they really enjoy the 2 or 3 hours of gameplay and then the 2 or 3 hour break.
Yeah.
Because they like the camping experience. They like everyone. They go with a big group of guys, like 8 of them. There's and when you get out there, Stonebreaker had 700 people. Iron Dagger 2 had 500, I think. So you get this. I mean, just it kind of is a military experience, with the camaraderie because there's so
Yeah.
many people. It's really cool when you're hanging out. Like this is that you're all camping next to each other. You got your tents and your campers and your RVs and
Yeah.
just campfires and drinking and shit like that. So it's really that cool atmosphere, which is like the airsoft community atmosphere
Yeah.
off the field. But they also have like blank firing 50 cal on a Humvee going around. Like they really make it immersive. They have these
Yeah.
propane cannons that go off, that they shoot off, that sound like mortars, that sound like explosions. They're fucking
Oh, that's
awesome.
sick as hell.
They really make it immersive while you're playing. They have a helicopter, the Little Bird, that you can buy a separate ticket for and go fly around. You've seen videos of airsoft outbounds shooting down from that. That's at GTI with the Third Coast Airsoft.
I just saw a video from Novridge where they skydived into an airsoft field.
Right. Saw that.
It's fucking crazy, man.
That's crazy, bro.
I ain't never doing some shit like that, man. I'll give him some props. I ain't jumping out no planes, man.
Yeah.
Hell no.
But yeah, what would what about the Balahack stuff? Have you seen those LARPing events?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
those would be
I've
cool
seen a lot of the Balahack stuff. I actually would want to go up to there to see him, see his field and everything like that. But right now I just need to get out of NA, and go to the outdoor fields like Hellhounds, Summertown, CartCon.
Yeah, CartCon's close to you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they actually, like I said, I was planning on going. It was actually on their anniversary, and they just like put up a new part in the field and everything. But I was like, there's a chance of thunderstorms. I ain't taking my shit out there. You know what I mean? So, I need to go soon, man. I really do. It's just completely different. But the thing is, what I love so much about NA, and I'm sure it's like that everywhere else, you walk in there by yourself, you will find a group of guys to run with.
Right.
Yeah, you talk to one guy, you get a good conversation. He's like, oh yeah, well here's all my buddies, and then shit, you got friends all day. Yeah. I didn't even, first time I went by myself, I didn't even think that would happen. I was like, shit, I'm just gonna be, lonely and by myself the whole time. And then I started talking to these two guys, and I just ran with them all day, and it was just fun. So that's cool, man. That's what I'm hoping it's going to be like the same at everywhere else. Because that day I was trying to go to CartCon, I was trying to go with Connor on Praetorian. I think his Instagram, I don't know if you met him, is like PAS Milky or some shit.
Okay, I haven't talked to him yet.
Right,
like on here.
Yeah, I love Connor. He's a good guy. He helps out a lot, and there was one time when I first started, I was behind the chrono stand, and I was there for like 3 hours, right? Because that was like one of our busiest days, just constantly chronoing people. And I go on the radio, and I'm like, dude, I'm about to shit my pants. So he runs out. He runs off the field. He was about to play, and he takes over for me. And ever since then, I have loved that man. He is amazing.
That is that's important. Okay.
Yeah.
That's an emergency. All right. For real.
All the Praetorian guys, I really appreciate them. They're amazing. Constantine,
cool.
You don't really see him very often. But like Pumbaa, Houdini, Donnie. I know you just had Xander on here. I fuck with Xander. He's always at NA playing. So.
Yeah, dude, this whole group out here, bro. Yeah, that's right. Let's see, Houdini, Pumbaa, Constantine, Prudy. I think Prudy's on HSA.
If you talk to Akil, I don't know his name, but I know it's like Akil. Fuck, how do you say it? It's that tendon in your foot.
Achilles?
Yes.
Achilles tendon? No, I haven't talked to him.
Okay. He's one of the
There's
guys.
A ton of people, and between CartCon and Nashville Airsoft that I've talked with last year, like late last year, and then now again with after Huckleberry and stuff. It's it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I know you just also talked to Chris from FRA too.
Right.
Yeah.
And Seeker, Matthew.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right. Jeez.
Yeah, no, you get one guy from this area, and now you got all of us over here. Man.
I got all of it. I really like that though. It's kind of cool because I get all these different perspectives. Of course, I hear your personal story, which is different than anyone else's. So, but I also hear perspective from, that same field, but different stories from that, field. It's pretty cool. So it's never the same thing. Even if I talk to, like all these same guys from the same area, that play at the same field, or whatever, it's still a very different conversation, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Everyone's got a different backstory to it, and everyone's experiences in airsoft is completely different. That's what I'm also saying, man. I love the community here. It's definitely like, if I could find a way to stay like airsoft, like make airsoft a career for me, I would in a heartbeat.
Well, that's what Marcus was saying too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
sure there's a ton of airsofters that would like to do that. Yeah. For sure.
And I'm thinking of like either trying to like go and find like a job at like one of the like Echo One or Elite Fours, something like that,
Right.
working with them. But I also got a buddy who moved up to Connecticut, and me and him were talking about opening an airsoft field. And while I know that's like, you know, something far fetched, if I can make that happen, man, you know, I'd be happy. Like
Yeah.
little dream right there. Even the son I'm not running, just something I own, you know, I have my own general manager doing all that shit. Still something I would love to do.
Yeah, for sure. So what then we're talking about where would you go if you had the money? What kind of pistol would you get if you had the money? What yeah, do you like a certain have you ever tried like the Hater, you know, those revolvers, those kind
Yeah.
of different ones?
I didn't like
I
it.
think Marcus showed off Maxim 9, I think he
Yeah.
had. That kind of cool looking, you know.
Yeah. I leave all my stuff at NA, so I
Yeah.
wish I could show you some guns. But something that I absolutely would love to have would be an FN57. The thing
Oh,
is with them
nice.
though, there's Toki Marui option and the Cyber Gun option. The Cyber Gun option is not the best.
Okay.
So I love those. I grew up on Black Ops 2. You know, first Call of Duty for or well, like I don't know, best Call of Duty. You know, I
Gotcha.
love all the guns in it. You know, I got the Tavor from it. You know what I mean? Love it. I would love to have a call, and I'm looking at buying a Tokimarui KSG gas shotgun.
Yeah.
Would love to have that too, but it's just like the 5.7. You know, have like an actual Black Ops like kind of gun inspired kit. Be hella cool for me.
Uh-huh.
So.
Hell yeah. Okay. Awesome, man. Well, bro, it's been great talking with you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on
Oh,
here.
what's your call sign? What do you go by? Your name's Reece, right?
Yeah, it's just Reece. I don't have
Okay.
a call sign, man.
Yeah, that is your call sign. That's a cool name.
Thank you, man.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
was so embarrassed of the name Reece growing up because I was always
Oh,
Reese's
really?
Pieces. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Or Reese's
right.
Cup.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, that's you know how kids are, man. It's
Yeah.
whatever. Uh, yeah, they're gonna make fun of something.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just how it is. Names are definitely one of them. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. All right, brother. Well, it's been great talking with you, Reece. I
All right.
appreciate you,
Thank you,
man.
man. I appreciate
All
you.
right.